According to the devs, Year 9 is by far the biggest year that Dead by Daylight will receive so far, with the introduction of the Dungeons & Dragons DLC, Castlevania being confirmed, a 2 vs 8 game mode, various gameplay improvements, and most importantly for a lot of players, cross progression is finally coming. Let's take a look at everything that awaits us this year. Now this video will only focus on the new content coming this year, and not the new chapter. If you're interested in learning Vecna's power, as well as my opinion on the perks and maps, I'll have a video dedicated to that. Let's instead talk about the new chapter that we're getting in August, since the devs have officially confirmed that Castlevania is coming to the game with Dracula as the new killer. We will also get a new survivor with this DLC, but no new map sadly. And we know there is no map because the devs have revealed the Year 9 roadmap, as well as all the content that is coming. And let me tell you, there is a lot. In the 4th of June, the Dungeons & Dragons chapter will officially release, and the anniversary will start on the 13th of June. But let's focus on the content coming in July, which will have a new licensed survivor. We don't know who this is, but the only hint that the devs have said is that this was a character that truly embodies the meaning of survivor. The only characters that come to my mind that are also part of horror licenses that would fit this description is either Ellie from The Last of Us or Isaac Clarke from Dead Space. And if we do not count horror licenses, then a wild pick I would love as a survivor is Lara Croft. However, I don't think we're getting her. Let me know in the comments who you think is this mysterious survivor. After that, on August, we're getting the Castlevania chapter, again with no map. In September, we will have a new modifier, then the Halloween event in October, and in December, we're getting the only original chapter of this year, including a new map too. Then on March, we're getting a licensed killer only chapter, so prepare your Springtrap speculation. And finally, on April, as the last paragraph of the year, we're getting a new original survivor. 6 chapters, 4 licenses. Absolutely insane. Going back to July, we are getting the 2 vs 8 game mode. And let's talk about that because this mode is absolutely crazy, since this is not a modifier, this is actually our first official game mode. In this game mode, you will be able to play with a friend as a killer in order to hunt down 8 survivors. There will be 5 maps that will be bigger than the normal ones to accommodate the increased amount of generators, pallets and totems. Instead of hooking, once you down a survivor, you can interact with them to instantly transport them to cages, very similar to the Executioner's cages. However, this is a work in progress mode that will first release with only 5 available killers, which are the free ones you get at the start, like the Trapper, Nurse, Hillbilly, Wraith, and Huntress. For survivors, you are also going to be limited and can only use the free survivors as well as Feng Min and Michaela, and instead of your own perks, the game will give you a selection of classes to choose from, and killers will have their own class. Killers will also be able to help their teammates with unique powers, with the only one confirmed as of now being the Wraith, who is able to make their teammates undetectable. Most importantly of all, this is a time-limited game mode. I assume that the reason they went this route has nothing to do with them being lazy. Instead, I think there is maybe an issue regarding licensed content, and this might be why it took so long for them to add a new game mode. It is possible that first, they want to slowly polish every single killer and perk interaction they introduce in this mode, make sure there are no game-breaking bugs or interactions, and then slowly release the new killers into this mode. Just think how broken it can be if, for example, Wesker was allowed to catch a survivor that is currently harpooned by the Deathslinger, or what happens if a Dredge teleports to a locker that is currently trapped by a Victor. I am aware that there are already ways to try this out, but I assume since they have licenses, they will want to offer the most professional gameplay to both players and license holders. Despite them saying that this will be the closest to a party mode in the game, they still want to make sure that everything is balanced, which is why the class system is implemented. And I cannot imagine how miserable a match would be for a Plague Oni combo, for example. So, before complaining, I would suggest that we would try this game mode and then offer feedback to the devs. This year, we're also getting 2 new gameplay improvements. First of all, a new challenge system that will reward players that complete passive challenges, which I assume are challenges like killing, surviving, maybe repairing generators, or use certain characters. These will be daily, weekly, and also parts of future events. We don't know much yet, but I have a lot of hope for this new challenge system, and I hope it's similar to a Call of Duty calling cards mechanic. Additionally, the finisher Mori is actually coming to the game. Now, I am not a big fan of this, and a lot of players weren't either. This will make it so that you are able to Mori the last survivor in the trial no matter if you bring offerings, and also it will make it so that memento offerings you bring give you more blood points for when you Mori a survivor. Like I said in a very old video of mine, I don't think this is a good feature, but I understand that the devs want to make Moris something that are more accessible overall in the game, as working on these cool animations only for them to be locked behind an offering or a very rare perk interaction is bad. And besides, everyone is going to run blood point offerings instead of wasting them on the Moris. I think that if we want to have a unique Mori animation that we can earn and purchase in the store, this feature has to be in the game for sure. Finally, a minor but huge thing they are adding is that now there will be an inbox system in order to prevent pop-ups at the start of the game, and instead players can see the new changes and whatever things are going on in the Dead by Daylight community through this inbox. It's a fantastic change that I am sure will help new players a lot. On June 13th, we're getting the anniversary event, bringing back the Twisted Masquerade with special powers that will help you during the match. Something really cool is that the Mad Designer is finally visible in game. She will appear and talk during the match. This is the character behind the Twisted Masquerade and the one giving the survivors and killers their masquerade cosmetics, as well as other outfits like the Alice in Wonderland collection. She seems to be a huge fan of the entity, and we might get her as a playable character in the future, but the devs have confirmed that she is not playable. The event itself is honestly confusing, and it's a bit different than before, so I would rather make a video once it's out. But let's talk about the free cosmetics that you will be able to earn, and this is something crazy. The Unknown and Bill Overbeck are getting anniversary outfits this year, which is completely unexpected. Bill getting a new outfit is wild, but I am so happy for all Bill mains. The Unknown's outfit is also fantastic and something I am going to use for sure. In terms of masks, these are all the designs and characters that will get one this year. And have you noticed something peculiar? Detective David Tapp, a licensed survivor, is getting a free anniversary mask too. And this is also because the pig is getting a full new licensed anniversary cosmetic in the store, just like the Ghostface way back. We don't know if another survivor will get an anniversary cosmetic like Feng Min did, but we might know once the event is out. But something super important to note is that the events from now on will only be available on a separate queue from default, so if you don't want to participate on them, you can choose to play the normal game instead. This will be super useful for those that are not fans of the event mechanics, for example. And finally, let's talk about cross progression. This is finally coming to the game, and you will be able to connect accounts from different consoles or PC into one. However, Auric cells will be exclusive to whatever platform you bought them on, just like in Fortnite, and also some license exclusive cosmetics will not be transferred to other platforms, like for example the Switch Trapper exclusive. Items that have a level, like prestigious, as well as perks, will only take the highest one from all linked accounts, and items that can be counted, like add-ons, offerings for example, will be added together. This is a huge news for those that started playing way back when Dead by Daylight released as a PS Plus freebie, or those Epic Games players that maybe want to play on console if they desire. And this is all the content related to core Dead by Daylight that they talked about in the anniversary stream. Let me know what you are the most hyped about. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.